Okay, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Mirta Devira Lubis. I am from Master of Business and Administration in ITB. I want to present about analysis of the scorecard in PTPP Persero PBK for my mid and final term exam. So I want to start to explain about the company profile. The PTPP had established in August 26, 1952, and they had the shareholder is a government about 55%, Koperasi Karyawan Pemegang Saham PP or KKP SPP about 0.03%, public is about 48.74%, treasury stock about 0.23%. And then PTPP has divided the business field in construction and investment. And then they also had about the authorized capital about 755 billion, issued and full paid capital about 500, and share listing in stock chain in IDX in at February 9, 2010. And if you want to invest in PTPP, go find the code in the IDX. It's written PTPP. And they had the business network about 8 direct subsidiaries, 28 indirect subsidiaries, 31 associates, and 3 joint operations. And they had the employees about 1,946 employees. Next, it is for the company vision and mission. The vision is to be an excellent, synergized, and sustainable construction, ABC, and investment company in South and East Asia region. The company mission is become support the vision. It has the 6 mission. First is to provide construction, EPC, and investment service based on good corporate governance, QHSE management, risk management, and green concept. Second, to be highly competitive and provide optimal added value to our stakeholders by strategic synergy of business. Third, to develop excellent human resource through fulfillment, development, assessment based on our corporate culture. Four, to optimize innovation, information technology, and knowledge management to achieve sustainable excellence performance. Fifth, to develop corporate strategy, and the last, to improve company financial capacity. And for the company's value, they had the akhlak, A for trusted, K for the competent, H for the harmony, L for loyal, A for adaptive, and K for the collaborative. And next for the business line, I also mentioned they had divided in investment and contracting. So the concession and investment they divided to in concession and investment, like they build the toll road, port, farm, power plant, oil and gas, realty, commercial, hospitality, and build management. And in the build, civil and EPC, they build like the office, apartment, hospital, dam, bridge, runway, irrigation, power farm, industrial and tank storage. And for the specialist plant and equipment, they provide equipment like the heavy equipment, formwork, aluminium, asphalt mixing, ready mix, precast plant, earth moving, and then mining service or the precast building. And then for the subsidiaries, the PT Persero that I had also mentioned it before in company profile, but I want to explain the subsidiary in PTPP Persero. For the first is the PTPP Property, second is PTPP Presisi, and the third about the PP Infrastructure, fourth the PP Energy, five the PP Urban, six the Sinergi Kolomadu, seven is PTPP Semarang Demak, eight the Central Iman Perkasa, and Celebes Railway Indonesia is the last for the subsidiaries. And then I want to explain to about performance based on financial report quarter 2 in 2021 from the balance sheet that we know from the asset until the equity. There are the increment in the three aspects. But I focus in the liability. There are increment about a 4.60% that bigger than the equity about 0.80%. I think the PTPP has to focus about to minimize the liability. I mean the percentage of liability and increasing the percentage of the equity. And then from the formula, the total asset equal the total liability and total equity. So from the table that we know the total asset is already equal with total liability and equity. And the next for the income statement, there are revenue about 6 trillion, but in 2020 about 6.7 trillion, and the 2021 the about 6.4 trillion, and it is decreasing about 4%. And for the EBITDA, we there are increment about 169%, and for the final net income, they are increment about 210%. And for the gross profit, they are increment about 13%, and the gross profit margin, they are increment to about 1.90% based on year per year that I explained. And then for the cash flow, there are three activities which are operating, investing, and financing activity. And the three of activity based on year per year, there are a decreasing in percentage. It is minus 70.62% for the operating, investing minus 24%, and the financing activity is minus 42. The 40%. But it helped by effect of change in foreign currency about 3,000 3,100%. So the cash and cash equivalent end of year become the positive and become increment than before about 11%. And then I want to present it to about the balance scorecard, my analysis balance scorecard in PT PP Persero TBK. And first, the balance scorecard, there are a financial perspective, internal process perspective, and the third is the customer perspective, and the last is learning and growth. And the first is financial perspective. They had a plan to develop corporate strategy to increase company's financial capacity. The measurement is about ROE, ROA, total asset turnover, the operating income. The target is to increase every year in profit, assets, and capital. And they had the action plan, for that I written about the strategic cost reduction, maintaining the liquidity, accelerating of potential project for project not significantly affected by COVID-19 in effort to maintain the balance of the revenue and cash flow of the company, and SOE synergy purpose to increase the market, production, cost efficiency, and setting development program. And for the internal process perspective, they want to engage the industry, ABC, construction, area management, capacity building service in construction engineering, and planning service, development, and optimization of the utilization of the company resource to produce goods and or high quality and highly competitive service. And the second is to obtain or pursue profit to increase the value of the company, applying the principle a limited liability company. So they are measurement about the GCG or good corporate governance and the ASEAN corporate governance scorecard. And they had the initiative like the formulation of business continuity plan, formulation and executive task force team, effective COVID-19 prevention and handling program, and then the revitalization of the holding subsidiary, and then the settlement of the contract issue with win solution for both party in maintaining the continuity of operation and the customer. Business transformation is carried out by designing 5 organizational the transformation. And then I forget that balance scorecard is the make to the like the measure of the company. Is it have the action plan? Is it the target is achieved or not? To support the vision. Is that so? They had the financial perspective and the internal process perspective, customer and learning and growth perspective, like I mentioned before. So the next I want to explain about the customer perspective. First is to increase customer satisfaction. They want to expansion the market and handling the customer complaint. And the measured about the measurement about KPI, key performance indicator. They targeted the customer satisfaction index, award received, QHSE application rate, timeliness of completion of work in accordance with the contract, speed of response to customer complaint, the customer satisfaction K3. And they had the action plan like the market expansion, give the customer satisfaction survey to know about the satisfaction the customer about their service, and give company information through social media and website, and then advertisement in media, handling customer complaints, through social media. For the last is learning and grow. For the objective is maximize and improve the effectiveness of employee management. And they had the target about the employee productivity, fulfillment of employee competency in KPI, and initiative to reach the target. They want to have an OD or organizational development unit in the HCM division in collaboration with the research unit as an officer who evaluates, monitor the existing organization and examine discourses of organizational change to welcome company's needs in conducting in trainee development program and the talent management program, and management sustainable learning by compiling the knowledge and experience, and facilitated the work process. And for the financial perspective measurement, like I mentioned before, the ROE, ROE, operating income, and the total asset turnover based on the annual report from the 2018 until the 2020, they are decreasing year on year. So I think the PTPP had to maintain and repair the ROA, ROE, the annual operating income, total asset and the total asset turnover in 2021 to increase it. And then for the customer perspective and measurement target, they all of the target they pass it. And then for the internal process perspective measurement and the targeted is for the GCG, they have a good score with 93 and and categorized as very good. And for the ASEAN CGS or corporate governance scorecard, they had a score about 79 categories as a fair or level 2. So I suggest to PTPP to prepare the system to get a higher score in level 4 or level 5 as categorized as a very good or leadership in governance. And then for the last, the learning and growth measurement and the target, they pass to the target about the employee productivity in 12.38%. 12.38 in KPI, and then the fulfillment of the employee competency to about 31.88 from the target is 30. And then it is the end of my presentation. Thank you for attention. Thank you very much. Good evening.